What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Culture Rate Media Network. It is I, Darian Scalamoni, and I'm here to discuss yet another movie from the 2026 Sundance Film Festival with you guys. It is probably the biggest title coming out of the festival. It won the Audience Award, and it won the Best of Fest. It is Beth de Aruajo's Josephine. This is a movie that, as I said, if you're kind of in the loop with this festival and the indie film scene right now, Josephine is a movie that is soul crushing. It's heartbreaking, but it's a terrific movie. And the biggest thing with this is going to be kind of commercial viability, which is a big part of the conversation right now because this movie's subject matter is so dark. It's a film that I believe is probably one of the best movies from this year I've already seen. Now, I've seen a few movies from TIFF last year that are going to be carryovers and get wide releases this year. I'm still such a massive fan of a film called Tuner that Black Bear is going to be releasing later this year that I really encourage everybody to check out when they can. But besides Tuner, this might be my favorite that I've seen thus far, this movie. And favorite is an interesting term because it's a film that I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to watch it in my life if I have the opportunity to and it gets wide distribution because it's such a hard movie to watch at times. But diving into it, without giving away too many spoilers, because I do hope this movie gets wide distribution and people could check it out. But this is a film that deals with Channing Tatum and Gemma Chan. They are the two supporting characters really in this movie. They play a set of parents and they have a young 8-year-old daughter who goes by the name of Josephine, the titular character in the movie, played spectacularly by Mason Reeves. This young actress is going to be someone to watch out for because she does some truly haunting work in this movie, as well as some just truly dramatic, great acting. But Josephine is on a morning run with her dad, Channing Tatum's character. His name is Darian, and he's training her to she plays soccer at a young age, and he must have played soccer his whole life, and he's training her, and they're on a morning jog, and she gets a little bit too ahead of him in the woods, and he loses track of her, and she winds up witnessing a sexual assault. And it scars her basically for the time of the movie that we kind of the journey we go on. And other than that, I don't want to give away too much in terms of the psychological impact that it has on Josephine's character, but it obviously deals with the awful circumstances of what a sexual assault can do to many people that are involved, whether it's the victim, whether it is some witnesses if they happen to witness it, whether it is testifying in court, whether it is the psychological damage that could do to a young child when they witness it. But Beth de Aruajo is the writer and director of this movie. And I'm pretty positive it's her feature directorial debut. And man, is she going to be one to look out for because the script and the direction is so tight and so well done in this movie that I'm not surprised that it was not only from the audiences and also from the voting public and the critics and the jury that had a chance to see this movie at Sundance that it won a ton of awards. I also believe that the two best performances in the whole festival are in this movie with Mason Reeves and Channing Tatum. Gemma Chan is also great in the movie. There's some great supporting roles as well for some other great character actors. But Mason Reeves does so much as an 8-year-old child in this movie, dealing with that awful overarching shadow and what that disgusting kind of feeling is of witnessing something that is horrific. And she is witnessing it as a young girl and not really understanding what it means. But she knows that it's bad, and her circumstances that follow that occurrence and being closer to the victim than any other person, and the impact that has on her going forward with some certain violent tendencies and misunderstanding the way that the world works. And a lot of what Channing's character Darian tries to instill in her is that life is not fair, and that is a lot of what this movie deals with and what Beth de Aruajo does so well with Josephine. But like I said, it's a very tough watch. There are some moments in this film where she is lashing out in different ways with against other children, against her own parents, against society in general, and trying to sort of reconcile or reckon with this disgusting thing that she witnessed and this horrific thing that she witnessed and not understanding it. And what Beth de Aruajo's direction does is that she allows the viewer to kind of go along this journey with her, where it really feels like you're in the shoes of an 8-year-old. And it's disturbing. Obviously it's a terrible subject matter, but it's a movie that deeply affected me, and it's been sticking with me since I watched it last weekend when I got a ticket to it. It was the first movie that I got a ticket to for the virtual access because I had heard such great things even before the awards had come out for it. Channing Tatum, I had said last year, just missed my list of my top 10 favorite movies of 2025 was Roofman, a movie where I felt like it was a role that Channing Tatum was born to play. And I would have loved for him to get some awards consideration this year, which unfortunately he did not. But I love being able to see him do some different kind of work recently. I love what he did in Blink Twice, then going to something like Roofman, and now doing something like this where, again, we're still in this award cycle. But if this movie does get picked up for distribution, I would find it hard to believe that Channing Tatum would not be in the conversation for Best Supporting Actor, because he is so great in this movie, and he has some great moments of sort of dealing with how to be a parent in this situation, how to be a husband in this situation, how to be protective, but also influential and sort of educational towards his daughter on what the next steps would be in a situation like this if someone is caught hurting somebody sexually, violently, physically. And so this movie is probably my favorite of the festival that I had a chance to see, and it is the best of the festival that I had to see. I have some upcoming reviews for some other ones, but all I have to say is that please somebody pick this movie up for distribution. As I said, it's a tough watch, but I think it's a necessary watch. And I think that it's brilliantly directed, it's brilliantly acted, and I hope that more people get a chance to see this movie coming out of Sundance. But that is my thoughts and my review and my recap of Josephine, a movie that I saw virtually for the Sundance Film Festival. At this point, my review for another Sundance movie, Chasing Summer, is probably already up. I have some reviews upcoming for other films like Union County. I also saw Z, Kogonada's new movie. And there's another one I can't think of off the top of my head that I also had a chance to check out. But all those reviews will be trickling out as the time goes. Also, we have reviews up week to week right now for Jujutsu Kaisen and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. January's been a little bit of a slower month. I'm happy I had some Sundance movies to check out. February, March, April already kind of filling up the calendar for some films and a lot of television that we're going to be covering on the channel, hopefully. So also there's a review up right now for our coverage of the Marvel series Wonder Man. So please check that out if you guys can. And you can follow me on social media, or follow us on social media. All that stuff is below me in the video. It's also in our YouTube description. So just signing off, I'm Darian Scalamoni, and we'll see you guys next time.
This is The Culture.